All right, we're back to discuss example 4, solve for the indicated variable. And I would like for you to solve A and B and try those on your own, okay? What we're also going to be doing is, I want you to write this in, check your answer. Okay, so we're going to solve for the variable and then we're going to check our answer. So go ahead and write that in. So for A, S equals 1/2 G T squared. We're going to solve that for G. And then B, V squared equals U squared plus 2AS for S. So we're going to solve them and check our answers by hand. Here's my friend the Pause Dragon to remind you it's time to pause your device, write in a pencil, right? And when you get done, press play and we'll go over it together. All right, see you in a bit. See you in a bit. All right, let's go. Let's do this. So for A, we're solving for G. So I'm going to highlight that. We need to get G by itself. So let's do this. Okay, what's around G? Well, we have a 1/2 and we have a T squared. So I think I'm going to get rid of this 1/2 first. I'm just going to rewrite this here. Remember, whenever a fraction is multiplied by a variable, we're going to multiply by its reciprocal to get rid of it. So multiply both sides by 2/1. Okay, this is all going to cancel out and become 1. So what we're left with on this side of the equation is just GT squared. 2/1 is the same thing as 2. 2 times S is just 2S. Okay, we're just trying to get G by itself. What's around G? T squared. We got to get rid of the T squared. Well, how is T squared related to G? I know there's a squared there, but that's okay. It can be there. T squared is related to G through multiplication. It's G times T squared. So we're going to do the inverse operation of multiplication, which would be division of T squared to both sides. And then we end up with 2S all over T squared equals G. And then I'm going to go ahead and use that symmetric property of equality. G equals 2S all over T squared. And there we have it. There's our answer. Did you get that one right? If you did, great job. Let's go ahead and check it. So I'm going to write the word check. I'm going to write this original equation. S equals 1/2 G T squared. Instead of writing G, I'm going to write all of this. So we have S equals 1/2. I'm rewriting that. Okay, I get to the G, so I'm going to put this whole thing in parentheses. 2S all over T squared times T squared. That's a lot. Okay, so basically we just need to simplify this side. So there's a lot going on. I think I'm going to focus on this 1/2. And so basically we're multiplying by fractions. I'm going to look to cross cancel first. So here I can cross cancel. What's the common factor? They both have a 2. 2 goes into 2 one time. 2 goes into 2 one time. Okay? So then we end up with, this is just 1 divided by 1, which is 1, which is just really unneeded at this point. And we have S over T squared. And that is multiplied by T squared. I'm going to make T squared into a fraction, and then there we go. We're multiplying by fractions again. We look to cross cancel, right? But we can't do anything with this 1 and S. What about T squared and T squared? Do they have a common factor? Yeah, T squared. How many times, what goes into T squared? T squared. How many times does T squared go into T squared? 1 time. And T squared goes into T squared? 1 time. Then we just multiply across. I'm going to rewrite this S. S times 1 is just S. All over 1 times 1 on the bottom is just 1. S over 1 is the same thing as S. So we have a true statement. That means our solution right here is the solution to the original equation. That was a really tough one. If you got that one and the check right, like that's awesome. Great job. Okay, let's go over to B. I'm going to switch up my color. Okay, B is V squared equals U squared plus 2AS for S. So we're solving it for S. We're getting S by itself. Okay, we can do that. So the first thing we want to ask, well, what is around S? Well, there's a lot. There's this 2a and then there's this u squared. Well, this bit on the outside, we need to get rid of that first. So we're going to do the inverse operation. This u squared is positive, so we're going to do the inverse operation of a positive number, which would be to subtract it, a negative number. So we're subtracting to both sides. We end up with v squared minus u squared equals, u squared minus u squared is 0, that cancels. And then we're just left with 2 times a times s. Okay, we're still trying to get this s by itself. What's around s? Well, 2 and a. And how are they related? They're related to s through multiplication. So we're going to do the inverse operation, which would be to divide both sides of the equation by 2a. Okay, and then we're just going to rewrite. So we have v squared minus u squared all over 2a equals 2a divided by 2a is 1. 1 times s is just s. And then I'm just going to use that symmetric property of equality and rewrite. I'm going to flip it. And there's our answer right there. S is equal to v squared minus u squared all over 2a. But we're not done because we're going to check it. So I'm going to write check. I'm going to rewrite that original equation. V squared equals u squared plus 2as. Okay, perfect. Now we're going to substitute all of this in for s. So I'm going to rewrite all this. V squared equals u squared plus 2a multiplied by v squared minus u squared all over 2a. All right, perfect. Nothing to really simplify here. We just really need to simplify this. There's a lot going on here. So I'm going to make this 2a a fraction, 2a over 1, and then we're going to look to multiply these fractions. This is a fraction and this is a fraction. Now, whenever we multiply fractions, we first look to, yes, cross cancel, and then we multiply across. So let's look here. Well, we can't do anything because that's a 1, and you can't make 1 simpler. But what about here? What about 2a and 2a? Is there a common factor between 2a and 2a? Yeah, 2a. Okay, cool. How many times does 2a go into 2a? Well, it goes in 1 time. And how many times is 2a going into 2a? 1 time. And then we just multiply across. 1 times that. First, I'm going to rewrite. V squared equals u squared. Okay, multiply across. 1 times this is just going to be this. Plus v squared minus u squared. And then 1 times 1 is just 1. So we're not going to put divided by 1 because it just means the same thing. All right, now we're here. We're simplifying here. Is there anything we can simplify? Yeah, we got u squared minus u squared. So a positive u squared and a negative u squared cancel each other out and they become 0. And what we're left with is v squared equals v squared, which is a true statement, which means our solution is the solution to the original problem right here. If you got that right and the check, you did an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you. Yoku de kimashita. You did a great job, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.